Hi, welcome to Essential IT and Security Skills. I'm Charles Redman, Master Trader, here to guide you through the essentials that you are going to need to land the job that you are looking for. In this series, we're going to talk about essential PC skills. I'm going to walk you through everything from software to hardware. Most people know me as a cybersecurity expert. Well, I couldn't have gotten there without learning the basics first. That's what this series is going to do. And then we'll move on in some later series with some more advanced concepts and techniques. But remember, it all starts with the basics. It starts right here, the essential PC skills. You'll learn how to perform maintenance tasks in Windows, optimize Windows, and prepare Windows for problems. First, maintaining Windows. Probably the most important part to maintaining your Windows environment is patch management. All new releases of Windows bring malware attacks, code errors, hardware issues, and issues with new features. The process of keeping the software up to date in a safe and timely fashion is known as patch management. Microsoft's primary distribution tool for handling patch management is a website and the control panel. Windows Update separates the different fixes into distinct types, updates and service packs. Updates are individual fixes that come out fairly often, where service packs are a large bundle of updates along with anything else Microsoft may choose to add. The Windows Update applet checks your system, grabs the updates, and patches your system automatically. You see, I have the option of purchasing Windows 7 or Windows 7 fully patched at least up to Service Pack 1. To maintain patch management in Windows XP, you can start Windows Update when the computer is connected to the internet, then start the utility at Start, All Programs, and then Windows Update, and you'll be presented with options. Either Express, which Windows Update will grab any high priority updates, or you can select the Custom button, where you can select from a list of optional updates. Windows Update and Windows Vista and Windows 7 changed the primary delivery tool from the web page to the control applet within the Windows operating system. Windows Update is virtually identical in both Windows Vista and Windows 7. Simply click Start and then select Windows Update. There are three common types of updates: important, recommended, and optional. The important updates address critical security and stability issues with the Windows operating system. The recommended updates is an added feature or enhancement that doesn't reach the level of critical. And optional usually includes things like device drivers and language packs. You also have the option of hiding updates, for instance with language packs. I don't speak Bulgarian, so I don't think I'm going to need this one. Within the Windows Update applet, you'll have these same options. You can configure it to check for updates, you can change settings, you can view the update history, and you'll have the option to restore or reveal hidden updates. Microsoft gives you the option to update Windows automatically through the Automatic Updates feature. You see a pop-up that will appear immediately following installation that will prompt you to set up automatic updates. However, if you choose not to do it at this time, you can always right-click on My Computer, select Properties, click the Automatic Updates tab, and select Automatic Updates options. In Windows XP, you have 4 configuration options: automatic, which is what Microsoft recommends, download updates for me, but let me choose when to install them, notify me, but don't automatically download or install them, or turn off automatic updates. Automatic updates in Windows Vista and Windows 7 gives you similar options. Install updates automatically, which is recommended. Download updates, but let me choose when to install them. Check for updates, but let me choose whether to download and install them. Or never check for updates. The recommended updates option is enabled by default. Also, all users can install updates by default as well. And the automatic update process includes updates from other Microsoft products such as Microsoft Office. Unchecking this box disables these updates. Selecting software notifications, you'll receive detailed information about any new Microsoft software. Next, we'll move to Disk Cleanup. You can access Disk Cleanup by using Windows Explorer, then selecting Drive Properties and clicking the Disk Cleanup button on the General tab. Disk Cleanup gives you the option of the kinds and types of files that you wish to delete. You should also know how to perform basic registry maintenance. The registry can get clogged with entries that are no longer needed. This can happen when you uninstall software. It often will leave little files behind in the registry. This can slow down your system, and it does require some periodic cleaning. Unfortunately, Windows does not have a built-in utility to clean the registry. You must use third-party software. My preferred software, again, is CC Cleaner. Disk problems can result in errors and system freezes. You should check the disk periodically using the error checking tool. You can run the error checking tool by using check disk. Just open the command line and type chkdsk and hit start. You can also access this tool by using the GUI by opening My Computer or Computer, depending on the operating system that you're using. Right-clicking the drive you want to check, then select Properties, and then clicking the Tools tab. You also should perform regular disk defragmentation. Doing this will keep your system from slowing down due to files being scattered across your hard drive. Remember, you don't need to perform this if you're using a solid-state drive. Before defragmenting your disk, you should click Analyze to see the percentage of fragmentation on that disk. You'll only need to do this with Windows XP. If you use Windows Vista or Windows 7, your system is defragmented automatically. There is no Analyze button on Windows 7 or Windows Vista. The CompTIA A+ exam objectives define 3 areas for you to consider for scheduled maintenance. They're backups, defragmentation, and error checking. You'll use the task scheduler in Vista and Windows 7 or schedule tasks in XP to run maintenance programs automatically. To open scheduled tasks in XP, go to Start, then Programs, Accessories, System Tools, and then Scheduled Tasks. For Windows 7 and Windows Vista, open the Administrative Tools and double-click the Task Scheduler. You can also access it via the Start menu by going to All Programs, Accessories, System Tools, and then Task Scheduler. Next, you'll choose an executable program and define when you want that program to run, along with any special switches that you may need to enter. Here you see my daily backup. Windows Vista and Windows 7 versions 2.0 is much more powerful and flexible than Windows XP in dividing tasks into triggers, actions, and conditions. Triggers are actions or schedules that start a program. Actions are steps that define both the program to run and how it is to run. And conditions are extra criteria that must be met for the program to run. Most programs use task schedulers to set up automated tasks. The backup utility is slightly different. Depending on the version of Windows you're using, in XP it's called Backup Utility or Net Backup. In Vista it's called Backup and Restore Center, and in Windows 7 it's simply called Backup and Restore. The fastest way to schedule a backup using the backup utility in Windows XP is to use the Backup and Restore wizard. For Windows Vista and Windows 7, Backup and Restore Center or Backup and Restore applet includes a scheduler with it. To schedule defragmentation, you can schedule the disk defragmenter to run automatically. To do this, use the task scheduler in Windows XP and schedule it inside the utility itself in Windows Vista and Windows 7. The Windows Vista and Windows 7 version of the disk defragmenter includes a scheduler with it. Just like Backup and Restore, to access disk defragmenter schedule, open the Start menu, type defrag, and just press Enter. The error checking tool is also called CheckDisk or CHKDSK. You can create a scheduled task to run error checking. It is the executable called checkdisk.exe. There are two switches you should use, /F to repair sectors and /R to tell error checking to attempt to recover data on known bad sectors. Techs use the System Configuration utility to edit and troubleshoot operating systems and program startup processes. To start the System Configuration utility, go to Start and then Run and type msconfig and press Enter. This program runs automatically in Windows XP. However, in Windows Vista and Windows 7, you must provide the necessary credentials depending on the user account control setup. The System Configuration utility offers several features distributed across the following tabs. General, which selects the type of startup you would like to use for the next boot. Boot, this tab contains some advanced boot features. And Services, this tab is identical to the Services tab in the Task Manager. Startup, this tab lets you enable or disable startup programs. Tools, this tab lists many of the tools and utilities available in Windows, including the Event Viewer, Performance Monitor, and Command Prompt. The System Configuration utility in Windows XP offers quick access to troubleshoot and edit the boot INI file, but Windows 7 and Windows Vista no longer have this ability since they no longer use this type of boot up process. Windows also comes with a built-in utility known as the System Information tool. To access it, go to Start, Run, and type MSINFO32. Or you can go to Start, Programs or All Programs, Accessories, System Tools, and then System Information. You can use System Information to gather information about remote computers by selecting View and then Remote Computer, and then entering the remote computer's network machine name. It also gives you quick access to the System Restore and the DirectX Diagnostic tool. This is a tool for checking your video card. Now let's take a look at how to optimize Windows. The most common optimization performed on any PC is adding and removing applications. Many installation programs start automatically through the autorun.inf file. However, you can perform this manually through the control panel. In Windows XP, you'll use the Add or Remove Programs applet in the control panel. In Windows 7 and Windows Vista, Microsoft has replaced the Add and Remove Programs applet with the Program and Features applet. This is the same location that you will go to remove software. It's always preferred to first try to remove a program using its own uninstall feature. However, if an uninstall feature is not available, you can use the appropriate Windows control applet. To add or remove Windows components or features, you're going to need either a copy of your installation disk or know the location where the Windows source files can be found. To add or remove a Windows component in Windows XP, open the Add Remove Programs applet in the control panel. From here, select Add Remove Windows Components, which then will open the Windows Components wizard. Inside the wizard, you'll be able to select which component you want to add. In Windows Vista and Windows 7, you'll open the Programs and Features applet in the control panel and click the Turn Windows Feature On or Off option on the task list. You may encounter a UAC, but you'll no longer need an installation disk or files. The process for optimizing hardware in Windows are identical between the versions, even down to troubleshooting utilities. Updated drivers should be installed when the update fixes problems or introduces new features. Windows Update provides an easy method to update drivers from manufacturers that take advantage of this service. If you're using Windows XP, you usually need to select the custom option to see these updates. If you're using Windows Vista or Windows 7, you'll need to click View Available Updates to see any drivers available for your system. Before installing any driver, you should research the driver update. Make sure to read up on what the driver provides. And an important but often overlooked step is to register your devices with the manufacturer when you purchase them and install them. This way, you're sure to get notified of all new updates that will provide stability and/or additional features. Microsoft uses driver signing to protect systems from bad device drivers. Drivers have digital signatures if they come from Microsoft. If the driver does not have a digital signature, you will encounter a UAC asking you whether you want to stop or continue with the installation. By clicking the Driver Signing button on the Hardware tab of the System Properties dialog box in Windows XP, it will display the driver signing options. You can select whether to ignore, warn, or block. By default, driver signing is set to warn. Windows Vista and Windows 7 have eliminated the driver signing options. All installed drivers are inspected for a digital signature, and you are prompted with a warning if the driver is unsigned. In 64-bit versions of Windows, all drivers must be signed, no exceptions. You can also update your drivers via the Device Manager. Just right-click a device in the Device Manager and display the context menu. From there, you can select the Drivers tab and you'll be presented with some options. You'll see you can select the details, update the driver, roll back the driver, or uninstall. With Windows Vista and Windows 7, you also have the included option to disable that driver. If properly configured, Windows should automatically detect any new device you install on your system. If, however, Windows does not detect a newly connected device, you can use the Add Hardware wizard. With Windows Vista and Windows 7, it almost completely automated the Add Hardware or Add Device wizards. However, with Windows XP, it does not. To add hardware or add a device in Windows XP, you may have to point the computer to the source location for the drivers. There are a variety of performance options that are used to configure either CPU, RAM, or virtual memory. We call that the page file. To access these options in Windows XP, right-click on My Computer and select Properties. Then you'll select the Advanced tab. Then click the Settings button in the Performance section. In Windows Vista and Windows 7, right-click Computer and then select Properties, and then click the Advanced System Settings in the task list. On the Advanced tab, click the Settings button in the Performance section. You will have 3 tabs to choose from under Performance options: Visual Effects, Advanced, and Data Execution Prevention. The Data Effects tab enables you to adjust the visual effects that impacts performance, such as animations and thumbnails or transparencies. The Advanced tab has 3 sections: Processor Scheduling, Memory Usage, you'll only find this in XP, and Virtual Memory. Under Processor Scheduling, you can choose to adjust the best performance of either programs or background services. The Memory Usage settings enables you to allocate a greater share of memory to programs or to system cache. The Virtual Memory section enables you to modify the size and location of your page file. Data Execution Prevention was introduced with Windows XP Service Pack 2. It works in the background to stop viruses and other malware from taking over programs loaded into system memory. By default, DEP monitors only critical operating system files and RAM, but the DEP tab enables you to have DEP monitor all running programs. However, be prepared, you will take a significant performance hit if you do this. In Windows XP, you have a feature called Hardware Profiles. It's used in unique situations where some hardware devices are turned off, such as a wired NIC and a docking station. Hardware profiles can be created to use whichever hardware you like in any given situation. Hardware profiles can be viewed in the System Applet and the Control Panel. However, hardware profiles are not supported in Windows Vista and Windows 7. Next, we'll take a look at preparing Windows for problems. The best tool for backing up your personal data on your PC can be found in Windows XP's backup utility, ntbackup. It provides almost all the tools you need to back up files and folders. It enables you to back up to network drives, local drives, tape, and removable disks. However, it doesn't allow backup to optical disks. You can access the backup utility by going to Start, Run, and typing in the command ntbackup. Once in the backup utility, click the Backup Wizard button. To use the Windows XP version in Advanced mode, you'll need to click the Advanced mode on the opening screen. ntbackup gives you three choices after you click Advanced mode: the Backup Wizard, the Restore Wizard, and the Automated System Recovery Wizard. At this point, you'll be given the option of whether you want to back up everything on the computer, just some selected files, drives, or network data, or only back up the system state data. The Windows XP Automated System Recovery is the last line of defense when restoring functionality to your PC. It backs up the boot and system volumes, in other words, your C drive. The Automated System Recovery involves creating a large backup file that includes the boot volume, the system volume, and the system state information, and placing it on a separate drive or some form of removable media. You also need to create a non-bootable ASR floppy disk. The floppy disk stores information critical to the restoration process. However, to restore the ASR, you'll need your Windows XP installation disk, and then boot into the Windows installer and press F2 to start the ASR restore process. Once prompted, you'll insert the ASR floppy disk and simply follow the instructions. Remembering that ntbackup cannot back up to optical disks, the most popular choice from the 80s and the early 2000s were to back up to tape. However, tape backup is extremely slow and it stores data in a sequential order, which can make it extremely difficult to search through later. Remembering you have options as to what you choose to back up, those options are triggered by what's called attributes, such as the archive bit. If a file's archive bit is turned off, the file has not changed since the last backup. Archive bits are used to perform backups that are not full backups. Here you see the archive bits on these files. The most common backup types are a normal backup, which is essentially a full backup, a copy backup, which is identical to a normal backup, except that the archive bits are not changed, or an incremental backup, which includes only files with the archive bit turned on. In other words, it copies only files that have been changed since the last backup. You'll also have differential backups. It's identical to an incremental backup, except it doesn't turn off the archive bit. And then you have the daily backup, also known as the daily copy backup. It makes copies of all the files that have been changed that day. Here's an example schedule of incremental versus differential backups. There's no right way or wrong way. It's just important that you get in the habit of backing up your data. In Windows Vista and Windows 7, Microsoft retired the NetBackup program, replacing it with the more automated and simpler Backup and Restore Center. In Windows Vista, you can either backup files or backup the computer. Another advancement in Windows Vista and Windows 7 is they no longer support backing up to tape. You can back up to a flash drive, optical discs of all sorts, or even destinations across the network. The Backup Computer option backs up your entire computer to a system image. The Backup Files option in Vista enables you to back up only personal information for all users. Windows Vista and Windows 7 will not back up content stored on non-NTFS volumes. When you choose to back up each user's personal data and space permits, Windows 7 automatically adds a system image that includes the entire Windows operating system, every installed program, all device drivers, and even the registry. Unlike Vista, Windows 7 enables you to pick individual users' files to back up, and you can choose libraries or users' personal folders. The System Restore tool enables you to create a restore point or a copy of your computer's configuration at a specific point in time. This is extremely handy if you later experience a system crash or have a corrupt OS. To create a restore point in Windows XP, go to Start, All Programs, Accessories, System Tools, and then System Restore. System Restore in Windows 7 and Windows Vista is much more automatic, with the OS itself making a number of restore points automatically. There you have it. It's pretty simple. Remember, everything starts with the basics. Once you have these understood, everything gets a whole lot easier. If you have any questions or even just a comment, feel free to leave them below, and I do read each and every one of them. I'll see you next time.